Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Community Ledger. Today is the day. It's election day. Oh my goodness. Yes, today is the final day and this thing is almost over. Aren't you excited? Woo! I need to put a round of applause in the background because I am so over this election. But nonetheless, as you see, the map is crystal clear. No states have been taken over thus far. As the day progresses, we'll go ahead and continue to roll in. I'll try to post multiple times today so we can see exactly what the progress is. But I did want to show you exactly where we are moving forward. Let's take a look.
Indiana and Kentucky, but we'll see our battleground states. Thanks, Alex. Taking a look at poll closings tomorrow. The first polls close 6 p.m. Indiana and Kentucky, but we'll see our battleground states start to close at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. hour. In that hour, Georgia closes at 7 p.m. 2020. We had first results from Georgia just 20 minutes after the polls closed, but remember, it took 2 weeks for Georgia to be called in 2020. Georgia's Secretary of State now predicts a very fast election this year. North Carolina, 7:30 polls close. Also a state expected to dump a lot of votes right away. The last vote should be cast in Pennsylvania, barring any changes, at 8 p.m. Most of Michigan, 8 p.m., and then the rest of it, 9 p.m. In Wisconsin, again, 9 p.m. We expect to see results shortly thereafter, although they start counting on Election Day. Arizona, the polls close at 9 p.m., but many of the precincts won't report about 1 hour after close. So we can expect to see first results about 10 p.m. Eastern Time. In Nevada, polling places wait to report data until the last person in line has voted. So technically 10 p.m., but we'll see first results probably around 11:40. At least that's what we saw in 2020. Now, as we head into Election Day, the Real Clear Politics average of polls has Vice President Kamala Harris and former President...
Ooh, they know that's cap. That is cap. So I use Atlas, and Atlas is like #1 in regards to polling numbers, and they have Trump leading. But we'll just say, for the sake of argument, that's true. Even if that's true, being where she is, she's still underperforming compared to Biden in 2020, and she's doing worse than Hillary did in 2016. So it's a very scary place to be in for Democrats. I'm going to be honest with you. I am biased because I want Trump to win. As mentioned before, I used to be a Democratic, and I walked away from that Democratic plantation this year. I did my research. I started digging, and it got ugly. And so I was like, we can't do this. And this was the first time I have ever in my life voted Republican. So I'm rooting for Trump. I'm rooting for Trump. And I ain't ashamed to say it. Okay. And so based on, we'll just say if it actually is a tie, it's still not a good look because, Trump voters, Trump support comes out in droves on Election Day. And so that will be today. He always overperforms. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Donald Trump tied 48.5% to 48.5%. Imagine that. It's about 2 years running. All the changes we've had, a new nominee with Vice President Harris, and now heading into Election Day, it is tied. All right, let's take a look at the path to 270, the electoral votes needed to win the presidency. Comes to the Electoral College. Pennsylvania has the most electoral votes of all the toss-ups. It's crucial for both nominees, but they have paths to victory without it. Let's start with Vice President Harris. Let's say she wins Pennsylvania. That's a big win for her. She pulls that out. We can also give her the 2nd district in Nebraska, and also 2 states President Joe Biden won by more than 1 percentage point in 2020, and that is Michigan and Nevada. Now, we can give former President Trump in this scenario, this what-if scenario, North Carolina, which he won by more than 1% in 2020. He'd also need to win Georgia and Wisconsin and Arizona, and that could take him to the presidency. He lost in those states to President Biden by less than 1%. Now, let's go back and do it another way. Vice President Harris's...
So you hear that? He lost to Biden in the last election in those particular states, less than 1%. It was very, very slim margins. So she got a fight on her hands.
path without Pennsylvania. So we'll give the state of Pennsylvania to former President Trump, along with Arizona, which does seem like it's heading Republican just by the early vote and what we see in the polls. We can also give him North Carolina. Now, Harris would need to run the table with the rest here. We'll say Nebraska is going that way, but she would have to win Wisconsin, Michigan, Georgia, and then Nevada would put her over the top to win the presidency. All states Biden won in 2020. It is a path to victory without Pennsylvania, but she really focused on Pennsylvania. In fact, her
So there you go. She has focused a lot of her energy on Pennsylvania because she really, really, really needs to win Pennsylvania. It's 19 electoral votes, so both of them need it. However, I did want to put this up because this is the latest Atlas poll. And so the latest I think they polled was November 2nd, so just a couple days ago. And so these are going to be people who have voted and state that they voted for either Trump or Kamala. And as you see, they have Trump winning all but two of the swing states. They've got him up in North Carolina. They've got him up in Georgia, Arizona, Nevada. They actually have her, it does look like they have her winning in Wisconsin. They gave it to Trump for Michigan and in Pennsylvania. What's the other state that they have for her? Michigan. Okay, so Michigan and Wisconsin she may get. But yeah, so they even have him in the national poll beating her, leading by 49.2%. So they still have Trump in the lead. I like to look at Atlas compared to all of those other polls like Quinnipiac and Rasmussen and things of that nature, just because Atlas has always just been the most reliable in regards to polling. However, even like the New York Times said, it is difficult to poll Trump supporters because a lot of people are silent. A lot of people don't want to speak out to the fact that they are supporting Trump, so they are difficult to poll. However, I think that's why you have a huge show out or turnout on election day, because a lot of people won't say it publicly, but will go into the booth and vote for Trump. And so let's see here what else we have. Tamara Hall. And so it looks like the Democrats are doing everything. This is the last Hail Mary. They are trying to throw anything at the wall to turn people off from Trump on the last day. So it just looks like a few days ago they announced that Miss Tamara Hall and Donald Trump allegedly had a bit of a thing back in the day. Like they had a little affair, and that affair got so spicy that it ended in a Roe v. Wade situation. That's what they say. Now, I don't know how true it is, but I know that there are a lot of voicemails online of her calling him. She really doesn't say a whole lot in the voicemail, so I didn't really post it on here. She's just speaking to him, stating that she wanted to talk to him about some of the performances, or I would say public appearances that he made on social media. She thinks he's, better than what he's representing himself in certain instances. And so apparently this was before he even ran first time around. Miss Tamara Hall and Trump had a thing going. So I don't know why they ramped this up or even started talking about this again. I don't know why this would turn anybody off. I mean, hell, they grown, that's their business. But nonetheless, they said let's just do whatever we can to try to tarnish this man's name, and I guess they dragged Tamron Hall in the process. And look at his lips; they all tooted up like, "Ooh, yeah, girl." So, nonetheless, like I said, the Democrats are doing whatever they can to get people to not vote for this man, but we shall see. We shall see. So again, I'm going to try to come on here as many times as I can today so that we can just continue to give updates as polls close, as we get more information about what's going on nationally in regards to this election. So please, if you have not already, subscribe and like and go vote. This is the last day. You don't have much time. You know the lines are going to be long. But listen, this is it. This is it. Okay, go vote right now. Again, thank you so much for joining the Community Ledger. My name's Andrea, and until next time, enjoy.